everybody, and welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all of the latest news from the world of movies, plus a little bit of insight into what it all means. Leading off the show today is AMC Movie News production manager, Dennis N.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of AMC Movie Talk. As you can see, I've taken over the captain seat. John is in hiding. It's because I've put a hit out on him, and he has to hide away, so we don't know when he's coming back.
Also, your AMC Movie News senior editor, Amy Rose Eisenbach.
Gangster Zen, coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
I like it.
Also, your AMC's Mark Ellis.
Ashley, I'm sorry I didn't wear the Pixar shirt that I told you I would.
I'm offended. I was going to wear it yesterday, but you said to wait. And
I didn't
now
bring
look at us.
beef jerky either, so I apologize to the entire crew for not supplementing your
Where
lunches.
is our beef jerky?
We're pissed.
It's coming soon.
Nice plug there for our new
Nice
show.
plug. Well, the
didn't know
much anticipated action film Furious 7 has roared out of the gate to the tune of a $15.8 million Thursday night opening in 369 theaters and is predicted to make around the $115 million range by the end of the weekend. By comparison, the previous movie, Fast and the Furious 6, had a $6.5 million Thursday night opening in 2013 and wound up making $97 million for the weekend. Dennis, what do you think is behind the Furious 7 fast start?
Well, first of all, the movie's making a lot more than even I anticipated. I predicted over 100, but under 110. So I was thinking like 105, 106, but 115 is a lot more. Not close to the 150 that John Schnepp predicted. But I mean, the reasons behind it is the franchise has turned into like something that, you know, only the diehard fans were watching before with like Tokyo Drift and all that stuff. And I think with Fast 5, I don't know what is it. Fast 5?
It's
Furious
Fast 5.
It's just
Yeah.
really
Fast and
hard
Furious.
to differentiate.
It's all
Fast
confused.
5, Angry 6, Furious 7.
Okay.
Faster than ever 8.
So for the fifth one, I think that was the breakthrough one. That
Yeah.
when they added The Rock, franchise Viagra, it took it to another level. It became more mainstream. It became like more of a blockbuster tentpole film that everyone wanted to see. And then the 6 built on that, and like the 7th one. But I mean, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, Paul Walker's passing has something to do with it. People are wanting to see it because they're interested in seeing his last film. And it's not like Universal is exploiting that fact or anything like that, but it's kind of like, remember with Heath Ledger and The Dark Knight, everyone just was clamoring to go see it. And we're going to be doing a spoilers for Furious 7 later today, so I'm not going to spoil the ending. I'll just say that there is a tribute to Paul Walker at the end, and it's nice and well done. So, Amy Rose, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you definitely hit it. I mean, beyond just the fact that he passed and the tragic way of his passing in a car, I mean, everything just with this franchise, but they delayed the production, and everyone was so uncertain how they would finish it, and, you know, using his brothers to help the scenes with CGI and this and that, and there's just so much surrounding it that beyond just the franchise gaining momentum since 5, thanks to Justin Lin, who's done an amazing job, it just curiosity. Even if people who weren't interested in this franchise, they want to know how it ended, because no one's saying, you know. And then you add James Wan to the mix, who is a really accomplished director, and he's my love, horror junkie, you know, and he's so good at it. And you would think that would translate really well. So there's fresh life, and then the saddening ending of a life. And so there's just so much into this production. But yeah, I'm really not surprised. We should have done a box office pool because A, I love to bet, but B, I mean, I'm not surprised at all that John was shocked that it was sold out last night. I'm like, come on, it's been sold out for a week.
I would have done pretty well in the pool because I think, like Dennis, I was guessing around 105 to 110 million dollars for opening weekend. Let's not forget, April is the official start to the summer movie season now, and this is the movie that really kicks everything off. That's what it did a couple of years ago when you had Fast 6 or Fast 5. Fast 5, like Dennis said, is the one that showed people this is no longer a franchise that's going to rely on racing cars. That's going to be a small element in a high-octane action heist thriller style of film that I think a lot of people can see that appeal. So the Paul Walker death, I think, did have something to do with it, like a Heath Ledger Joker situation, or like even Brandon Lee with The Crow, where it adds a little bit more to a film that people were already aware of, but there's a little bit more intrigue there. So I think that it doesn't matter what the solstice says. The summer starts when a Fast movie comes out, and it's coming out this weekend. It's going to do huge.
And I think it's a certain urgency. People are like, oh, I'm not going to wait a week or two or wait for it to come on like home video or something like that. They're like, no, I need to see it now because everyone's going to be talking about it.
And they're fun movies to see in the theaters when it's a packed house. People are laughing, they're high-fiving each other, they're being awed by that huge action sequence that they showed in the trailer is incredible. You need to see that on a big screen.
And ridiculous. It's just like they have no sense of realism anymore. They're just like, let's just do the most ridiculous things. And I saw it at South by at midnight screening with Alicia, and I think people really respect wanting people to experience how they end it firsthand, because we did not spoil it. And the whole team was there, everyone saying, for Paul, like, let's not talk about it, let's everyone experience that. And I think people are respecting that, and that says a lot about just the love. I mean, they really do feel like a family, and you can feel that.
Okay. All right. What's next, Ashley?
In an interview with Esquire magazine, Mad Max Fury Road star Tom Hardy revealed that he was signed on for 3 more Mad Max movies, provided the first one is a financial success. In the article, it states, as for the pressure, Hardy says it's enormous. I've never been more excited and out of my comfort zone. He's seen the film and says it's effing unbelievable. He's attached to a further 3 Mad Max films, though, as he says, everything's based on figures and how things are perceived. Inevitably, it's a business. Mad Max Fury Road opens in AMC theaters everywhere on May 15th. Amy Rose, what are your thoughts on Tom Hardy appearing in 3 more Mad Max films?
Title lends itself well, too. More fury. Like, you could just keep going. I mean, this is not, first of all, I'm getting really impatient to see this film. I just keep hearing Schnepp saw it. I mean, all the people at WB that I have friends with are just like, it's going to blow your mind. And they're not just saying that. You can always tell when a publicist is like, go see our movie, it's great, or when they truly believe it. And this film is just bananas. I love that Miller is back to continue the story. That's so rare that the original creator of a franchise can keep going. That's just so exciting to me, using the technological benefits of today. And Hardy's he's amazing, but that's not a surprise at all. I mean, they always want to lock in the actors. They always want to make sure if and when, in this case it's going to be a when, it's successful, that, okay, let's keep going. I mean, studios are in the business of making money, period. So I'm not surprised at all, but Charlize Theron, I mean, I'm excited to see what she does as well. So I'm so in. Hurry up.
Yeah, I'm excited to see as well, but I don't know if they're going to make 3 more. I mean, he's not talking about a trilogy. He's talking about 4 movies total, 3 more after that. I don't know if Tom Hardy is going to have the same enthusiasm that he does now. I am really looking forward to this movie. I like Mad Max. I loved Road Warrior, and I heard this is in the same spirit as Road Warrior with a lot of... I mean, Road Warrior was all practical effects, but this has like practical effects mixed with CG, but kind of it looks like a good blend.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, so it looks fantastic. I'm super excited. I'm just not sure George Miller and Tom Hardy are going to make it to a 4th movie. Mark?
A 4th one is, that's way looking down the road, prognosticating. I think that Tom Hardy, this is really the first time he's been an integral part of a giant franchise. I know he played Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, but that's more as a hired gun coming on to finish a trilogy as opposed to being the guy that's kicking off this massive set of movies. When I saw It Follows in theaters a couple weeks ago, I paid to see it like a civilian, and I'm in there, and when the trailer for Mad Max came on, there was an audible buzz in the room. People are excited to see this film. What concerns me is that it is coming out in the summer when you just have movie after movie after movie that a lot of people want to go see. So I hope it does well. The question is going to be if it does good. Is it going to warrant a sequel? If it just does okay, if it has a nice weekend, then it continues to make some money, gets good critical reception, do they continue down this road, or are they like, maybe, I don't know. So he signed on for 3 movies. I think that's more of a precautionary thing than anything else. I don't know. They've had a lot of story discussions as opposed to where are we going to take this once we make the 4th movie. But it's nice to know that he seems locked in to playing this character, because you want some continuity. From everything we've seen so far, it looks like we're all going to want more movies.
Should we bet on this one too? Because I think it's going to make a lot of this.
I think
how much do you think?
How much?
This first one that's coming out in May.
Okay. I'm going to go, I think it could make as much as 65 or 70.
Opening weekend?
Yep.
I'm going to say around 50.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go 70.
Okay.
I
said
think
65 or 70.
Yeah, so 70, 75 then. Okay. Which is funny because this movie, remember all the like rumors about the delays and the reshoots? This kind of like at one point people were talking about this movie possibly being a disaster.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like super pumped about it.
Right when they released the images, we're like, okay, you got my attention.
It's not going to be Waterworld with sand. This is going to be a good film.
No. Okay. All right, guys, we've reached the point of our segment, Buy or Sell. Ashley, what do we got?
Looks like Disney is working on another live-action adaptation of a classic animated character, this time with the beloved bear Winnie the Pooh. The studio has hired Listen Up Philip writer Alex Ross Perry to write the screenplay, which will focus on an adult version of the young boy character Christopher Robin, who appears in the original books and animated movies. Mark Byers saw the idea of a live-action Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, bother. I'm gonna buy this. I'm hesitant to buy this because an adult Christopher Robin makes me think like this is going to be the Winnie the Pooh version of Hook, which I just didn't like Hook.
Oh, how dare
Sorry,
you!
Just did not like Hook.
You.
I just didn't need that story.
Blasphemy.
So how long do we have to hang out with an adult Christopher Robin? Why do we need an adult Christopher Robin when he was a boy, and that's why his imagination was letting all these animals talk? Now, the live-action Winnie the Pooh, I know you can panic and think, oh, the Smurfs in live action, that was a disaster, but Paddington was a giant success. That was one of my favorite movies of the year so far, and it came out in January. It was a surprise. I didn't really expect it. With Winnie the Pooh, there's going to be more anticipation, more hype, because everybody grew up with Winnie the Pooh. So I'm nervous, but I'm going to buy it.
I'm going to tentatively sell it. I mean, Disney is doing all these live action adaptations of all their famous or classic cartoon characters. Cinderella, I really liked. Maleficent, I thought was okay. Alice in Wonderland, I did not care for, but I just don't know if I need to see it. You're right. Paddington is the one reason why I think, oh, possibly this could be good, because that actually turned out much better than I expected. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I remember seeing the trailers for that, and I was like, oh, man, that looks terrible. But I liked it. Pooh could be the same way, but I just don't know if I need to see it. Amy Rose?
Winnie the Pooh. It makes my heart smile. I grew up on this franchise. I've introduced my little nephews to this franchise. I mean, I love it. With that said, I don't want you to make Christopher Robin old. I want it to be Peter Pan, where I always think he's young and charming and has this amazing imagination. Could it be done? Sure. I have definitely expressed my distaste for CGI'd animals many times on the show. I think they're terrifying. They ruin a lot of my classic, childhood memories of these characters, and then they make it all CGI and freaky, and I think kids, no, that's not for kids. It's terrifying. It's like horror movie. James Wan should direct it. But I definitely think that you're right about Paddington. It did turn me around. He was actually really charming. And so if done right, you could make it a good story, but part of the charm was just this little boy and going on his adventure, and so it would just have to be a really good script and really well done. I do think it could happen, but for now, I'm going to sell it.
It could be Christopher Robin introducing his children to these characters, and then that's how they come to life. But you also got to wonder, how did Christopher Robin ever have time to meet a girl to reproduce when he's hanging out with these imaginary bears for the entire day?
Piglet's actually.
Piglet's the mother?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, that's a James Wan movie right there.
But I'm with you, though, with the CGI. Other than Paddington, which actually was really cute, those CGI characters freak me out as well. Smurfs, the ones that freak me out.
Garfield?
No, the worst is Alvin.
Oh my God, I hate them.
The Chipmunks. Like they're dancing to like booty songs and stuff. It's frightening.
Clowns, Chipmunks, Garfield, my nightmare.
Okay. All right, what's next?
Deadline is reporting that Fox is in development of a movie based on the popular kids' toy Play-doh. That's right, Play-doh. Not only are they working on the film, but that they are in talks with Bridesmaids director Paul Feig to direct. No word yet on when the movie is planned on being released. Dennis Byers saw the idea of a Play-doh movie.
Well, when I first heard it, the first thought I had was, I'm going to sell this right away. But then I remembered that's what we all thought, including myself, about Lego Movie.
Yep.
So, and the fact that Paul Feig is potentially going to do it. Remember, the reason why Lego Movie was so good was Phil Lord and Chris Miller. So I feel like if they get the right team behind it and they do it in a claymation stop motion style, it potentially could be good. So I'm going to tentatively buy it. But the only thing I thought of when I heard about this was Mr. Bill from Saturday Night Live, the Play-doh character. Oh no! All right, Mark, what do you think?
I had the same reaction you did. I was like, "Oh, this is a sell." It's simply because it seems like they're just trying to find any kid's toy they could cash in on. It's like, let's make a Koosh Ball movie. Let's make a Mad Ball movie.
Slinky.
Let's make a Garbage Pail Kids movie. Oh, that already happened.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about it. But then you were like, you know what? If they actually use Play-doh to make this movie and they take their time with it, like a Box Trolls or a Wallace and Gromit situation, or Chicken Run, those are really cute movies, and it's so inventive the way that they made them. If they do it like that, that, and they don't mail it in and just make a run-of-the-mill CGI or animated version of what Play-Doh might look like, then I think this could be a hit for kids. It's going to sell a lot of Play-Doh. Paul Feig being attached is definitely a plus, so it's a tentative buy for me.
And Fantastic Mr. Fox. I mean, I love stop motion. I think it just adds a layer of depth you don't see a lot. And you're right. I mean, I always think of the Comic-Con red carpet, where it's a Lego movie. And Dennis and I, long day standing there, we're like, great, we have to talk to the Lego movie people now. And then it was my favorite interview of the entire time because they're so fun. And it was an amazing movie. So it is, I mean, the possibilities, what you could do with being able to transform into anything is pretty interesting. So I am going to buy it. And I did see Spy, Feig's latest, and it's really good. I thought it was going to be generic, and I wasn't really interested. And it's really funny. So I do have faith. I think he's on a roll right now, and that's an enlightening choice.
Is Play-Doh the same level of childhood nostalgia as Legos?
No,
like
not
there's
even
not
close.
Star Wars Play-Doh and Batman Play-Doh as far as I know. I'm not in the toy aisle a lot anymore, but I'm
they're
not sure.
scented.
Scented Play-Doh. My God. Yeah, that's how
weird.
Piglet
Scented.
romance
Scented.
Christopher Robin. Some scented Play-Doh.
All right, what's next?
The first trailer for former James Bond Pierce Brosnan and Resident Evil's Mila Jovovich's movie Survivor has been released. In the film, Bronson stars as the Watchmaker, a dangerous assassin sent to kill Jovovich's character, who has been framed for a terrorist bombing. The movie also stars Dylan McDermott, Angela Bassett, and Robert Forster. Survivor opens on May 29th of this year. Amy Rose, buy or sell this trailer for Survivor?
I will hesitantly buy it because of the director, McTeague, who did V for Vendetta. I mean, that's one of my favorite films of all time, and it was adapted so well from the graphic novel. But the trailer itself, separating my love for the director, it's kind of generic. I can't say I was like, wow, I do love Pierce. I love Mila, of course. It has a good cast. It feels kind of November Man-ish, which was like his last big, action film. But I think it seems pretty self-aware, and it could be fun. But yeah, for now I'm buying it mostly because of the talent involved and not because the premise is so shining to me.
Mark?
It's a buy for me because I like the talent involved. I mean, I think Mila Jovovich, she's finally not in a Resident Evil film, which is so exciting. It's like, good, she's a great actress. Let's get her back in something else. Pierce Brosnan in November Man, he was good in a bad movie, and I think you could use something like that character, and it's a different spin because it appears he's going to be playing the villain here. Dylan McDermott, I think, is always a credit to a film like this. So, again, I think the trailer was just run-of-the-mill, but the film that it's advertising, it got me intrigued. So it's a buy.
I'm going to buy the trailer, but I'm selling the title because the title is so generic. Survivor, all I think of is the Destiny's Child song, right? Or the CBS show.
I think of Mark Wahlberg movie, so we all have different references.
But the trailer itself, I like it for the same reasons that you're talking about. You get to see Pierce Brosnan, and he was good in November Man, even though it wasn't a good movie. And he actually had an edge to him in that movie. In that, especially there's this one scene where he's like, "I'm gonna kill like this innocent person," and I think that he can bring that to this movie. And same reason with Mila that you're talking about. Just it's not a Resident Evil movie. It's gonna be nice to see her in something else besides that.
Yeah, she's not fighting video game monsters. Pierce Brosnan isn't singing like in Mamma Mia. So let's do this.
Wait, didn't you hear? I'm a survivor. Ashley's still dancing to it.
All right, guys. Now on to the mailbag section. I just wanted to remind you guys can send in emails to at AMC Movie Talk at gmail.com, and we'll answer your questions on Movie Talk or on mailbag. But for now, Ashley, what do we got?
Nisar Sheikh writes, "Hey guys, we all have that one classic film that's beloved by everyone, but you just don't happen to like. I know John doesn't like Blade Runner, so what's that one classic film you don't really like or is overrated? For me, it's Gone with the Wind. Thanks."
Mark.
Blasphemy.
Man, throwing barbs with Gone with the
Blasphemy.
Wind. A movie that I still appreciate but I don't love is Fight Club. I just get it. Just I'm sorry. I like it.
You weren't supposed to talk about it.
I can't wait to read these comments. It just for me it just gets worn down, just gets a little dull by the end. But I love the premise. Another movie that I think is hailed as a classic, and I love sports films. I love baseball movies.
Oh, no.
The Natural. just bores me to tears. I love the idea of the redemption in there, and the end of The Natural it's fantastically shot. But that movie is just such a drip. It should be one of those films that's up there with Field of Dreams or Rudy, where it's just running on cable constantly, and it's not. It pops in here or there, and I think it's because the rest of that film is just so like Glenn Close and Robert Redford have one of the most boring, loveless relationships I've ever seen in a movie. There's nothing that pops in there for me until the end. So, sorry.
Amy Rose?
I'm still trying to adjust to you not liking Fight Club. What?
I'll say I like it, but I don't love it like everybody else does.
Okay. I picked, first of all, Gone with the Wind is amazing, but well played for being honest, but wow. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof is mine. That was definitely an old classic. Elizabeth Taylor, Paul Newman. The premise is so intense. It's like this alcoholic ex-football star who has like a strange marriage to Elizabeth Taylor, who's literally the most gorgeous woman on the planet at the time, and then finds out that the father has cancer, and it's just like there's no joy in this movie. It's so intense. It's regarded as classic cinema, and I just watched it, and I was just like, I recently rewatched it with my aunt like a couple years ago, and I was just like, why do people like this movie? This is so dark. So and I like dark for purpose, but this one is just painful without any joy whatsoever, and life is composed of both, so film should represent that. So yeah, I don't like that movie. Eek.
Okay, for me, a lot of people are going to be upset about this one, is Touch of Evil. Orson Welles. Not a huge fan of it. I mean, it has the great opening shot with the bomb on the car, which is great, but great shots don't mean great movies. You know, another movie, Atonement, it's not a classic, but that movie I didn't care much for, but they had an awesome shot on the beach with all the soldiers. For me, Touch of Evil, it's Charlton Heston is playing a Mexican drug enforcement agent.
Which sounds awesome.
Yeah, totally buy it.
So you're totally taken out of it when you're watching it, you know? And then there's a sequence, this isn't a spoiler, but at the end, he's following a guy. Charlton Heston's following a guy. And he's got this huge radio on him, trying to listen in on the conversation. And it's like, if you're secretly, stealthily trying to follow someone, would you have a big, huge radio blaring out? I don't know.
Donde
pretty cool.
está la biblioteca?
Yeah. So that's the Touch of Evil is it for me. All right, what's next?
Leah writes, hey AMC, you guys are the best. I always hear you talk about how a film's score is so important and how it becomes a character in it. My question is, has there been a song that played during a scene in a film, part of the soundtrack of it, that you will always remember and will be forever memorable to you? Thanks and keep up the great work.
Amy Rose, I'm sure you have a lot of ones for this.
I do. I sure do. There's so many. I mean, obviously, we could talk about the Hans Zimmers and the John Williams and all the classic scores. But more recently, the score in Sunshine,
Oh, yeah.
28 Days Later, was haunting and chilling. I really like when you kind of do more of like the Once angle with like original music in it with Glenn Hansard, amazing. John Carney, of course. Begin Again, Social Network, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I mean, that's like pretty much as good as it gets. That score alone, the movie was great, but it elevated it to the next level because of it was so original. I have a huge list, but I'm gonna not take all of them. But the last one I'll say is Glory and Selma. That song was really emotional and really beautifully done. And pretty much anything that Quentin Tarantino has in his films is just like completely atmospheric for the tone he's trying to get across. And that's what you want. Music is supposed to keep you and invest you even further, not take you out. And if there's bad music, I'm like, really? You picked this song? Like, stop with the emotional, Nicholas Sparks, he does that beautifully well. Meaning the opposite, where I'm like, okay, you're supposed to cry now.
Yeah.
Like, it's a switch.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be, and of course, Lord of the Rings, everything about it. So I'm going to stop naming off because I had like 10 more.
Okay, well, definitely Sunshine is on my list. It's
so
John
good.
Murphy. That ending sequence, I don't want to spoil it, but the ending scene or sequence, they have the music and it fits so perfectly. Clinton Mansell's the ending for The Fountain.
Yeah.
The kind of tree of life sequence, I guess. What other ones? Oh, the two that stand out for me that are specific scenes are in my favorite movie, Goodfellas, Then He Kissed Me, the crystals, the Coca Cabana scene, the one
Classic.
shot. Every time I hear that, I perk up, and it fits perfectly. I mean, it's a marriage between the song and the actual scene.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Quentin Tarantino, the first Kill Bill. the scene with the bride fighting the crazy 88 with the Ennio Morricone song, Death Rides a Horse. That sequence is awesome. She comes in, she calls out Ora and Ishii, and the music is playing in the background, and then she slices off that one girl's arm, and then she's just on the ground writhing, and then the bride walks closer to Oranishi, who's on the second level, and then everyone just pauses and they rush out.
So good.
I love that sequence.
Anytime
Mark?
I hear Gonna Fly Now, I'm at the gym and it makes me run a little bit faster because I'm thinking about Rocky, I'm thinking about going up the steps at the library, I'm thinking about all those kids running behind me. Or if I hear the synthesizer version of it, I think about how I'm running up a mountain, I'm about to fight this giant Russian. Or when I hear Jerry Goldsmith's Back on the Field from Rudy, that means I'm trying out for Notre Dame and all I want to do is just make the team so my dad can see that helmet run out of that shiny tunnel. If you want to talk about a music or a song that really gets me is Power of Love and Back to the Future. I always think that I'm Marty McFly on a skateboard. Sometimes when I hear the Beatles Twist and Shout,
I was just going to say Ferris Bueller.
I think I'm at the parade in downtown Chicago with Ferris Bueller. So there's a lot of good ones. And again, that's one of the hallmarks of a song or a score that you think about that movie even when that movie's not playing.
There's a song that gives me chills that originally wasn't supposed to, but because of A Clockwork Orange, Singing in the Rain now is that's supposed to be a happy, fun song from the original movie, and then you watch A Clockwork Orange and it's connected to very violent, very disturbing imagery.
We have to talk about Wayne's World, obviously.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've always wanted to make a clay pot with the woman I love listening to Unchained Melody. So maybe it'll happen someday.
John Carlos M. and he writes, "Hey guys, super addicted to this YouTube channel and all of your shows. I'm a big movie fan. However, I don't tend to follow directors and producers and such. I feel like in order to legitimize my obsession, I should know more about the people that make the movies happen. So my question is as follows. What is the best way to pick a favorite director/producer? Is it best to look at movies you know and love and learn about who directed/produced them, or to go by more critically acclaimed directors/producers, maybe those that are more decorated? Looking forward to your opinions. Keep up the great work."
I think it's great that you want to learn more about the people that are behind the scenes that are making movies, because they're often overlooked, underappreciated. I would kind of disregard who everyone else says, because it's all your personal taste. It doesn't matter if everyone thinks so-and-so is so great. What I would do is kind of make a list of all your favorite movies and kind of research who directed them, who produced them, and maybe even who was a director of photography on them, and then look at that list and kind of see which ones kind of repeat themselves. Whoever has the most doesn't necessarily mean that's your favorite movie or director or producer, but it'll give you an idea of maybe your top 2 or 3, and then I think from there, your gut should take over. Amy Rose?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, a lot of people who are first introduced, they pay attention mostly to the actor. So it's nice that you're looking at the people, because the director, I mean, I'm at the stage in my career now where I don't even really want to talk to actors. I only want to talk to directors. But that's the path I'm trying to go down anyway. But yeah, I think that to really just make sure you have a wide variety of appreciation, you can do as much as research lists, the best indie directors, the best horror directors, the best sci-fi, whatever, and just start doing your homework and then make your own list based off that. Because some people might regard, we just talked about films that are overrated. You might feel like some directors are overrated. We talk about Michael Bay a lot. Some people out there love them, some people don't. Doesn't mean that you're wrong. That's the beauty of film. You can feel however you want about it. It's all gonna hit everyone differently. But I would definitely do research, and you can just Google, seriously, the best in every genre, and then come up with your own list. It's a good homework assignment.
Yeah, another fun thing to do is take the movies that you love and then see who directed them, and then see who influenced those directors, who those directors list as influences on them, and then you can just get further and further back into cinema. So you can see guys like John Ford or Kurosawa, who they influenced all these people. It's almost like if you're a sports fan and you like a coach and you're like, okay, well, where did he learn the West Coast offense from? And you can trace that as far back as the origins of the game itself. So you can keep peeling back layers and discovering more movies that were made further and further from when you were actually born. So like Amy Rose said, just get on that Ask Jeeves and let them know that you mean business. You want to know who influenced the directors who made the movies that you love.
Yeah, and the Criterion Collection is a really good way, because you have directors, filmmakers, artists, like musicians, making their favorite top 10 films of all time. And then you can see actually their influences there. So if you want one-stop shop, that's a really good way, because it's literally every genre what they consider the best films of all time. So
Well, you bring up a great point with the Criterion Collection. One of the best things you can do is take some of your favorite movies and check out the kind of behind-the-scenes featurettes to them and see the process and see it. I know a lot of people don't like this movie. I liked it, Prometheus. But one of the things that's better than the movie is there's like a 3-hour behind-the-scenes featurette on it.
Pass.
It's like it's longer than the movie. But I mean, it's not about the actual movie itself. It's just the process, taking it from script all the way to the post-production process and seeing how a director has to deal with the studio, with the writer, the concept artist, and everything that's involved with that. And I think it's a really good learning process.
It was beautiful. I'll give it that.
Yes.
And remember, astronauts, when you're in outer space, don't sleep together. Leads to bad things.
All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for joining us. I want to thank the people at the table to my left. Amy Rose, where can people find you?
At Amy Rosie on Twitter and Instagram. And we have a new AMCI Indie Spotlight up. Also, AMC coming soon. So many shows, so little time. And I wasn't on the show, so I just have to shout out, thank you for making Deadpool rated R.
Mark, where can people find you?
5150 Ellis on Twitter and Instagram, and Mark Ellis Live for stand-up tour dates. I'll be at WonderCon this weekend, so if you see me, come on up. I prefer a fist bump or a nice hug.
He doesn't want your cooties.
I don't want your cooties.
And Ashley, where can people find you?
Twitter, Instagram at Ashley Mova. Happy Friday, guys.
Yes.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero, on Instagram, Dennis.tzng. I also want to remind you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel for AMC Movie Talk, or actually AMC Movie News in general, and have all the wonderful shows that we have: AMC Jedi Council, AMC Heroes, AMC Indie Spotlight.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Coming soon on
Rewind.
Monday.
Yes, Rewind. All those shows. It's youtube.com/AMC Theaters, and see you guys next week.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.